Psalm 23.
Welcome to the Carr and Seguin Show, hosted by Devon Carr and Paul Seguin, where two Michiganders dive into real estate, outdoors, community building, and everything in between. What's up, dude?
What's going on, man?
Hey, what episode 95, correct?
Correctamundo.
95. Halfway to 190. We're 5 away from 100, dude. We're right there.
We're right there.
Let's not quit now.
You can taste it.
Let's not. We'll keep this motor running. I know you're a little tired. You want a Mountain Dew?
No.
Red Bull? What is your go-to caffeine beverage? Devin?
I don't have one.
Monster?
No, I don't do any of that.
Do you drink caffeine?
Not coffee.
Black or cream and sugar?
Black.
That's the way, boy.
But I only do it in the morning. I don't unless I don't know. Maybe if I didn't have something that morning, then I'll do something in the afternoon, but I stop around 11.
All caffeine? Like you consciously say water for the rest of the day?
Yeah, kind of.
Do you?
Yeah.
I like that willpower.
Just during the work week. A lot of weekends I'll maybe have a cup of coffee if that.
You don't drink pop?
I don't drink in my booze.
But your booze don't have caffeine? Do you drink Jack and Coke?
I'll do like Crown and Burners.
Oh, Crown and Burners.
That's about. I used to do 7 and 7s.
Yeah,
but that's about it because I don't like popping my booze either.
No,
that's when I get my stomach aches.
Yeah,
it's from all the sugar.
No, I've been enjoying. I have a little 4 Roses, small batch.
Ooh,
yeah, dude,
that sounds fancy.
I'm down for just a nice little, just straight pour, sipping. It's been kind of my go-to the last little bit. Yeah, Jess is like, wow, that bottle's going down a little quick.
You say, well, yeah, it's cold outside. You can't do anything. There's no snow.
I know.
Might as well.
I know.
Have a fire.
Nice little nightcap. Yeah. Dude, that's exactly it. Yeah. Put the fire on.
Right.
Pour a nice little glass.
Yeah. Why not?
Booyah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's good.
But no, I don't drink pop.
So nope.
Yeah.
So man.
No pop.
So on a real tired day though, what on the days that you're just No, just water.
Just water.
You're crazy, or I'm crazy, because I just drink it all day, every day. Like I'm already feeling like I need a cup of Joe right now.
Well, I know you drink coffee all the time.
Like it's water.
I used to,
and it's 98% water, so I'm staying hydrated. Yeah.
Right. No, I don't know why I switch, but around 11 every day at the office, it's like, switch to water.
Yeah. I wish I could do that.
I don't get much of a caffeine boost from coffee in general. Unless I did like an espresso or something like that. But
no,
I think I just do it for the taste.
Yeah. No, I used to put like a ton of creamer in. We used to buy those coffee mates.
Yep.
We always would get, I kind of, every now and then I like a hazelnut, but it was mainly always like caramel flavored creamer.
You get pumpkin spice, don't you?
No, see, I've never really been a big like
pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice in general, but like even a specialty drink. Like if I feel like in the mood, I'll get a caramel macchiato.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Something different.
How boring, right? Oh, everybody gets caramel macchiatos. Yeah, but I don't even like those anymore. Like when Jess and I first dude, it was horrible. We would probably spend because Starbucks and crap. You know who's even more expensive than Starbucks is Big B.
Are they really?
Dude, it is insane. Like their caramel, what is their Caramel Marvel is their, I think, close rival of caramel macchiatos. Okay. Right? Dude, they're like 6 something. Starbucks is still $5.75. I mean, even saying that is ridiculous.
Yeah,
dude, it's just.
I haven't bought a coffee from a coffee shop in a long time, but if I do, we go to Big B, and then I'd get like the teddy bear with.
Does Johnny laugh?
I don't know.
Is he laughing at your coffee choice?
Yeah, the teddy bear.
A teddy bear with an extra shot of espresso. And that's
what is the teddy bear? Like, I know they have it.
It's like I don't.
Is it more of a caramel?
Yeah, it's got whipped cream.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's very sugary.
Well, see that's the thing. Like what I was getting at is we used to order them all the time. Like especially when Jess and I, because Jess loves coffee. She's like me. Both of our families are the same. Where it's just like coffee all the time, every day. I mean, shoot, we go over to her parents' house. It's like, you want a cup of coffee? Sure. I mean, right walking in the door, right? Same thing with my family. It's like, coffee's on. Want a cup? And it's, even after you eat, it's coffee. Yep. Right. Have another cup. I mean, like, I literally think our blood is coffee. Yeah. So it was, I mean, at that time, I always loved coffee.
Right.
But we would go to Starbucks religiously, and it just got too expensive. So then we would cut back, and then we're like, okay, let's just make our own caramel marvels or whatever at home. And it's just like, and then what it was is we were trying to do the Whole30. You know the Whole30 thing? Whole30 diet. You ever heard of it?
30-day, 30
whole. It's like called Whole30. So you like for 30 days, like day one or the first couple of days is brutal. Like you strip everything out of your diet, like even caffeine. That's what broke us. Oh, couldn't even go like 2 days without drinking coffee or caffeine or anything. I mean, it's almost like what do you call it? Just like an after effect, or
right?
Because you drink it so freaking much, and then you go cold turkey on it, and your body's like, where's my fuel?
Yeah,
oh yeah.
I
think we only last maybe 3 days. I think Jess went like a couple days. I'm like, screw this. I am drinking coffee. But what that kind of showed us is like, it also, dude, I don't know, over the last couple of years, I've gotten, I wouldn't say anal, but I look more than I probably should, right? When you look at the ingredients of stuff.
Oh, okay.
And the word that I hate is where it says it contains a bioengineered ingredient. Like,
this is good.
Yeah, good. And we say we wonder why cancer is at an all-time high.
Yeah,
right? I mean, when you look at Pops, I love Aaron. He'll probably listen to this. And it's not like we fought over this, but it's just my stance. Like, they love Diet Pop. It's like, well, at least I'm not getting any sugar. It's like, yeah, but what's making it sweet still?
It's a fake sugar.
Yeah. Like, fake sugar's better than a lot of real sugar, maybe? Whether it's real or not. I mean, we're trading two poisons for a poison here. But then you look at what even, like, the couple other things, like, I mean, it's like, you wonder why we have cancer. We're just drinking freaking chemicals, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, freaking A. I don't know. It's not like I'm healthy. Trust me.
Yeah.
I still pack on the pounds, but I don't know. So that's where I was getting at those. I stopped. Well, Jess did, but she's now gone to like half of that. She just likes her cream and sugar. Mm-hmm. So I went black, and I've never gone back. Not technically.
I gave up coffee one time for Lent, and then I switched and drank energy drinks.
Oh.
And it was like, well, this is stupid.
Dude.
I'm putting something in my body that's much worse.
Yeah.
for that time.
I have one bad experience. So we were driving home, went to Florida for spring break with a couple guys, right? Well, this is back in college or whatever. And I love to drive. Back in those days, I could just drive forever. Now I don't know what it is. Can't drive that much without freaking falling asleep. But I remember, in regards to energy drinks, I'd had, I think, 4 Monsters on the way home, just going. Mm-hmm. And I remember, maybe it was 3, not 4, but enough.
Still.
Enough, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it says on the can, limit 2 per day. Yeah, no, I definitely
it's bad when they put a limit.
Yeah, I know I had more than that. And I just remember getting home after dropping everybody off, and I walked in the door, and my mom's like saying hi, and I just stood there, and I'm like,
shaking.
I am shaking.
Yeah.
She's like, what is it? Is you okay? And I'm like, yeah, now that I think about it, it's probably because I had too many Monsters. Well, because Kyle brought he bought a case of them, so they're just sitting in the back.
There. It's like water. You just grab it. Yep.
Grab another one.
Didn't that one drink 4 Loko when those were around? Didn't they limit that how many you could buy.
It sounds familiar.
Closest before they stopped, because I think they stopped making them.
Did they?
I think so.
Because it was that bad.
Because it was that bad. But I think that towards the end, they limited how much you could actually buy of it.
Oh, I mean, I think Monster still says on there, limit 2 per day. I mean, I'm sure it's the amount of caffeine are in them. Yeah. But then all the other crap. Yeah, dude. And that was the big, I guess the more of the whole story is like Whole30 did ingrain in me to like look at like what you're eating. Because you read this whole book while you're doing it. And and it like breaks down, food in a way, right? And how our moods relate to what we eat and how much we eat of certain things like affects more than just your weight, right? And
your gas,
everything. Dude, everything. It's the same thing, right? It's like whatever you put in is what you're getting out. I mean, it's anything in life, right? Like, grass is green on the other side. No, it's green where you water it, you dummy. And I say that to myself every day. Just water the freaking grass today, bro.
I did see someone cut their grass 2 weeks ago. They had their push mower out.
What?
In downtown Plymouth.
Are you kidding?
Dead serious.
A business or residential?
Yep.
You freaking Plymouth like snobs. I'm just kidding. I live in Plymouth.
Younger generation. I mean, he looked fairly young.
Young enough to maybe the dad was saying, get out there and cut the grass.
I don't think so.
That's your punishment.
I'm thinking he could be potential homeowner age. And he's out there with his push mower. And it was like 33 degrees.
Well, honey.
It was like, it wasn't even like
it wasn't even warm?
No.
It wasn't one of the warm
days? No, he had
days?
a giant coat on, a hood, gloves, and it's not even like he was mulching leaves. There wasn't like any leaves. And I think
he was straight up
2 days later
cutting the grass.
I saw him just out there blowing his yard, and there wasn't even anything on the yard.
My gosh.
So maybe he cut it then too. I don't know, but I was like, what?
Am I seeing this
correctly?
doing?
He must have had a New Year's resolution that says, I'm going to mow my lawn more this year.
Maybe. I was like, what are you doing? Your grass is dormant, right?
Yeah.
It's not even long.
I was literally about to say, like, does he not know what dormant means?
I was like, dude, what are you doing?
Your grass ain't doing anything, dude.
What are you doing? Gas is expensive. Why are you out there cutting your grass? It wasn't even like, I got a new lawnmower. I want to go ride around. I mean, it was an old push mower. Like, what
he was out there working it, too.
I was very confused.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, it was funny.
Maybe he drank a Monster, an energy drink.
Maybe.
And he's like, dude, I got to work this off.
Maybe
he had 2 in one day and was like, I got to get these jitters out. It's possibly it.
Possibly.
She'd probably go drop off on his porch a case of water from Kroger.
Yeah. Maybe a thermos of hot cocoa.
Yeah. Chill inside, bro.
Yeah. Next time it's going to be pouring and we'll see him out there watering his grass.
We'll take this Basil Hayden's and go give it to him. Chill inside, bro. Compliments of Wayne Media. No. So some other topics on the list here that Devon doesn't even know about. So we got a couple. We were going to talk about the Lions, but I want to get back to it in a second. I think something that has made a lot of headlines lately in our world, in real estate mortgages. We've seen some decent rate drops.
Yep.
What do you think? CPI numbers was. Do you think was it effect of that or no? Yes.
The CPI did.
What is CPI for those who don't know? Stands for
Consumer Price Index. That came out.
Which is what does that gauge?
Inflation.
So
I mean it's
down to 6.5.
That came out what they expected. If it would have came out better than expected, in terms of lower number, then we would did a little bit better. But that came out, and then so that was good. We anticipated that though, because I mean year over year, we're essentially we had very high numbers towards this time of year last year. So we're replacing those numbers, but the shelter is still coming in high, which is 40% of it.
What is that?
So, I mean, shelter, like saying what rent is. So,
Okay.
essentially, they're saying that rent's still
High.
increasing when actuality it's been decreasing.
Right.
It's just like a...
So the number hasn't caught up yet with what's actually happening?
Right. Because, I mean, essentially like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Well, the top of the hill, it's still coming up in one side, the other side plateaued, and then the other side's below what's coming up still. So that's what you're getting is the coming down side is the current month.
Right.
And they're saying the coming up is previous month and it's still going up. So that's what they're reporting. It's still going up, but realistically it is falling.
So what do you think that means for the coming months?
So as time goes on, I mean, there's still going to be some volatility in there.
Yeah.
But as time goes on, all those CPI numbers, all those really high ones are going to be replaced by lower ones, which then brings inflation down, which then brings rates down.
So hopefully in the coming months, as that falling numbers
Replace the higher ones.
get reported,
then
it should start to even come down even more a little bit.
Yep. And same thing with the personal consumption expenditures came out today.
Oh, today?
They came out better than than were anticipated. So today's been a decent day. Started off good. It kind of leveled out today, but
Expenditures, so is that just what the consumers are spending?
yeah.
So what just consumer spending. So it came in
a little bit better than what they anticipated.
So meaning more money was spent?
Less.
Or less?
So less dollars out there.
Less dollars. Yep. Which I think the reason why I wanted to just real quickly bring it up is I think like in the loom of what we've been kind of going through, like this, like you said, obviously there's some things still hanging out there that it's not like everything is, oh, here we go.
Right, yeah.
We're coming down the hill of the roller coaster,
right, yeah.
you know?
Game on.
Saddle up. But I think a lot of people need to hear it. Like, things are moving in a good direction when it comes to what potentially this year could look like when it comes to rates. You know, I think because we lost a lot of people when it hit that 7%.
Right.
Right? I mean, it was either just an affordability issue now, right? I mean, people don't realize how much 1% can pretty well affect your mortgage payment.
Right.
You know?
I mean, if you're right on the line or something, I mean...
Well, yeah, it will push you over or something like that. But,
right.
You know, it jumps really quick. Let's just say, I mean, last year it went from, 4 or 5 to, it just felt like it just shot up to 7s in the matter of
it went up quick.
A month or something,
yeah.
But then it was just obviously a whole, when people are uncertain about what the future looks like, it's hard to make moves in any kind of purchases across the board. So I think with a lot of the stuff that's been coming out, it's good to note, like, hey, everything the feds have been doing, raising the funding rate and everything like that, it's seeming to be doing its job and taking its course now. To where, I mean, I don't know, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this coming summer, or maybe even into
I think spring and on
should be.
It's supposed to be a very good year for the purchase market.
Yeah.
I mean, which then goes back to what I know you and I have been talking about is, I mean, there's going to be more people. All those people that have been on kind of putting it off are going to start coming back out and ready to purchase.
I mean, I kind of feel like it's well, obviously in this past couple weeks we've had a decent increase of listings, which is pretty standard
Right.
in our industry that once the holidays are over, people that wanted to wait, who knows whether they withdrew the house
Right.
before the holidays and then put it back up on the market, or just 100% all brand new listings that they wanted to get through this holiday season, the fall, the winter, Christmas, go on the market. We always see it in influx of January. And not to say like things cool off again, but there's a big influx and then it kind of slows down leading right up into the spring. And then spring just kind of catapults everything for the remainder of the year. So, but I say that because it just is like, we're right around the corner, whether we believe it or not, right? We're already near January, believe it or not, but this is what the freaking
20 or
18th.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost over.
We're more than halfway through it already. Then we're going to be in February, which is always a short month. And then March. I mean, we're right there, baby.
Right.
I mean, we've had some really nice golfing weather in March before.
Right.
And,
probably this year we won't. We haven't had much snow, so it's gonna
coming
probably
late.
Snow and
we're going to be...
gonna hang on forever.
Yeah, more Memorial Day weekend, we'll all still be in winter jackets.
Right.
No, let's not hope not. No, I say that just for those of you maybe not knowing or hearing about this stuff. I mean, stuff is starting to move in some good directions when it comes to interest rates.
Right.
And I say this all the time. We've said it many times. I mean, if you were to take a blind eye to 2020 and 2021 and maybe at the beginning of 2022, like if rates come down, let's just say hypothetically, maybe they plateau for this year around 5. I mean, in the history of interest rates, it's pretty good,
still
right?
good.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's cheap money.
Right.
I mean, for all of you listening,
Who think it's expensive, look at your credit card.
yeah. I mean, shoot, you can't have a credit card 18, 20% nowadays, right? I mean, that's just stupid amount of interest. But then you know what's even stupider is renting. Because how much interest is that? 100%.
That is correct.
But, yeah, I just say that now because, honest to God, guys, if like one thing I want to go back to what I was saying is if you know somebody, which if you're like Devon and I age, your parents are obviously in probably your late 50s, early 60s range, which means they did live through the 80s, and ask them how much did they pay in interest when they bought their first house. And I guarantee you they would tell you some double-digit number.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I understand you can be like, yeah, but Bull, that was 40 years ago, and
houses were cheaper.
Yeah. My parents bought their house for $30,000, Bull. Like, what's the difference? It's the simple fact of knowing when we're talking about interest rates, where they've been and where we are. And we've said this numerous times because it's just such a hot topic in our industry. Rates change, guys.
Right.
It's called refinance, which Devon can do for you too.
I can.
It's a beautiful thing.
But it's like, I mean, when you say that, I mean, the affordability is actually projected. I mean, I know that was a big talk, 2021, because people were buying homes over what they're appraising for or over asking, whatever it may be. So, I mean, say 2021, you bought a house at $400,000, and I'll get a slide for a couple more episodes down the line, and we can go through it again, but so people can see it. But I mean, 400,000, 2021, the rate roughly 3.5%. It would put your principal and interest around $1,796. For someone like that, household income would be $9,000 a month. So with the giant appreciation in 2021, that house is now worth $440,000 in 2022 at 6.25. So your monthly payment now is principal and interest would be $2,709. Now that's a $913 difference there, which Obviously, you have to equate with gasoline going up,
Eggs
food
going up.
services going up. But with all that being said, according to the ADP, who takes polls, massive amount of polls about payroll, people that stayed in their current job, had an increase in income roughly around 7.6%. People who switched saw an increase in income roughly around 15.1%. So if you took the average, it's roughly 9%. So instead of making $9,000 a month in 2021, you're at $9,810 in 2022.
Right.
So granted, the payment's $913 more. Your increase in income is where the affordability comes in, and you're still a little low. But for 2023, if your income increased 5%, that puts you at $10,300 a month. So now, if you bought that house at $440,000, your rate roughly around 5%. That's what a lot of people are saying that rates towards the end of the year might end up being at. 440 at 5% puts your monthly payment around $2,362, which is still above
2062?
2362.
2362.
Yeah, 2,362.
Okay.
And then
So roughly 2,400.
So it's putting your payment $807 above 2021.
Or it was.
But you also have an additional $1,300 that you make each month
From just your pay increase.
Your pay increase.
Right.
So really, your payment with your pay increase is less.
So it's all relevant. Is
Right,
the
yeah.
point of what we're getting at here.
There's a lot of numbers, but yeah. I
Right.
mean, in terms of affordability, because that was a big thing in 21 about, the rate's so low and
Homes are going so high.
You can go up this much, but in terms of getting your increase in your wages, it's actually more affordable. You're still having more money in your pocket with the higher rate.
Yeah. I mean, and it comes down to it. It's, I mean, used to the corny phrase like, marry the house, not the rate. I mean, it's true, right? And in every situation, I think, I mean, it's freaking phenomenal to hear, really, because it speaks so much to what I think a lot of people were arguing when those rates got higher, right? Which all makes sense.
Right.
You couldn't deny the fact that rates being as high they were, like, why would I buy? I'm going to wait.
Right.
Right? One of the other factors that we hear a lot is like, well, I'm going to wait for housing to come down. And I know we've seen a little correction, if you want to call it a correction, but things have slowed down because of rates.
Right.
Right. But one thing that I believe, has remained pretty steady is just the inventory levels.
Right.
Which has helped, because a lot of people, I think, thought that with these high interest rates, the market was just going to drop. And has it? Sure. I think you could probably shove some data at me that say, look, I mean, prices have come down. Yeah. I've seen houses do a lot of price reductions. I would almost sometimes even argue, like, let's look at those each individually, and I guarantee some of those were just straight up overpriced to begin with.
Right, because their buddy got
down the road, at $450
a year ago or 6 months ago.
Yeah, because it's in being in the marketplace every day is like you still saw great homes in very high desired areas sell fast.
Right.
Right. And I think what it was, rightfully so, buyers were starting to get picky for rightful reasons. And I think that's why you were starting to see it always gets slow in wintertime anyways, right? Things slow down in our business.
You got all the holidays.
It's not uncommon, right? And maybe to the typical consumer, it's, people know that a little bit, but at the end of the day, they don't really know, like, when it comes to data and figures and what it means to homes. Like homes sit longer in wintertime. It's just known.
Right.
Right? Plus you had a little influence by the rates. I guess to where the point I'm going with this is simply inventory levels are still really low.
And they're going to be.
They're going to stay low. And I've been screaming this to death to clients and people I talk with. Everyone still kind of like thinks this 08 crash because of what's happened in the last couple of years because of COVID. They're two completely separate things. Mm-hmm. And if people really want to know, like we need to even have anything remotely close happen like that before, we would need like 2.5 million homes. And if people don't really know what that means, like that's a shit ton of homes.
That is a lot of homes.
To get dumped into the market all at once. Like
they'd have to wake up and they'd have to be there.
It'd all have to be there. And I think so many people were just waiting for that to happen because of how things were going. Inflation was through the roof. Everything was pointing like, holy crap, the sky's going to fall. Mm-hmm. But inventory levels was one of the biggest things. It just wasn't there.
Right.
So when you don't have it, and sure, there was less buyers, it's still going to hold the market strong.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's still going to continue.
For 33-year-olds, there's more 33-year-old first-time home buyers coming in the next year or two than there has ever been.
No way.
More than the baby boomers, more than all that. So there's more homes that are needed now when we have a shortage of homes.
For first-time home buyers.
For first-time home buyers.
What is that going to do for home prices?
And I'm sure with things have changed a little bit of price drop. I mean, they're anticipating that, and no one has a crystal ball. No one knows
correct
what exactly is going to happen. But I mean, they're saying, some homes will continue to appreciate single digits, 3-4% this year. Some might not at all, and some might go down a little bit, but depending on the area and all that. But in terms of a crash, it's not going to happen.
No. Here's my even more in-depth opinion. During COVID, anything and everything sold. Like there was, I don't know how it got created, but there was just this frantic market that like, if I don't buy a house now, I'll never buy a house.
I know.
It was kind of almost that way.
It was like, I don't care. I'll just, it'll work for now.
There was like a weird feeling. I don't know how COVID created it. It's not like anyone in our industry created this hype, but it was like this consumer reaction to COVID that like, I got to buy something. I got to sell something now.
I don't know if it was.
Because when 23 hits, I won't be able to buy anything. It was just this weird craze.
I don't know if it was, I'm sure the low interest rates, obviously, people move just to move because
to get the low
rate.
They
could. They were going to get a bigger house in a cheaper payment or the same that they are.
Or people just getting sick and tired of renting and it got super affordable. Right.
Yeah.
And it just created this craze because you had such a mass amount of people being able to buy with such little homes.
And
it was just crazy.
With COVID, people wanted to be in their own space.
Yeah. It's weird.
When it was all went down, people were
changing their lifestyles.
They probably didn't want to be in an apartment when they're all sharing the same elevator, stairs, whatever it may be.
Right. No place to roam around because you're in a tight, maybe subdivision or a tight complex and you want space. But what I was my main point, and we'll finish on this because we'll get to the next episode on a few things that we were going to talk, but we'll just cut it for the next one. I think what 2023 looks like, and again, I don't have a crystal ball.
Right.
Nobody does at all. I think the markets, because like to the point where you were saying is that you're going to have some homes appreciate, some that stay the same, and some that decrease. I think what it is we're going to get back to a normal home selection process. One is the ones that appreciate are the homeowners that took care of their house. They are updating it to the trends, and it's in a desirable area with great school systems and great communities. I think those type of homes will see appreciation. Why? they appreciate because you're going to have the most activity.
Mm-hmm.
They always do.
Right.
Homes that just kind of sit as maybe, you know, they're kind of fit in that same boat, but there's no upgrades. It's a clean house, no upgrades, still in a great area, but you're not going to have some crazy reaction like this other house was.
Right.
And if you are just a homeowner doing nothing to your house, you're not keeping up with it, you're not taking care of it, buyers are just, they're going to get way more pickier. That whole, like, just throw crazy offers with the blind eye because I just want a house, that's gone.
Right.
So I think, like, the people who just neglect, who don't care, sure, that's going to fit in that boat where you're not going to see as much activity, you're not going to see much money. People are just going to push aside, like, I'm not paying $200,000 for that house. It's not worth it.
Right. I mean, even back when the craze was happening, I mean, you could buy it and then get a HELOC for cheap, and you could renovate.
Yeah.
Now, if you got a HELOC, it's probably around 8 to 10%.
Same rate.
I mean, it's a lot higher.
Right.
So you're not necessarily willing to put the money in right away after you buy it to fix it all up.
Yep. 100%.
But no.
So, Paul, have you heard, or Devon, I was talking to a person the other day that said that they had read some article about the high percentage of buyer regret coming out of that. I got to buy today because 50 other people are going to buy it out from underneath me. Have you seen anything or heard anything about that?
No, I don't. And here's the thing about that. And I was just talking to another person about buying. They're thinking about buying soon. Is the only time I could ever see someone have a buyer's remorse is like if they just rush into something they weren't aware of. And I think we do a pretty dang good job of talking to our clients and figuring out what their wants and needs are.
Right.
Right. It's not just throwing people into homes. And I think maybe sometimes that, it's not to say that it doesn't happen, but I mean, the way that I answered it is like when I was talking even with Alex, I was like, do you see yourself living in this house for a long time? And his answer was no. Okay, great. Real estate's an investment. It's an investment vehicle because you're paying yourself, you're creating equity in something that is tangible that you can sell, right? And the beauty about real estate is like, even if you have buyer's remorse, okay, well then let's talk. Let's see where you're at. Let's see what we can do to get you out of this. So I think it's a perception, or I don't know any. I think it's such an individual thing to say like, oh, I have buyer's remorse. There's so many people in that time who bought in 2020 or 2021 have buyer's remorse. Well, why? I don't see why you should have any remorse right now. If you love where you're at, if you wanted space and now you have space,
right?
You wanted a big office in house, well now you got it. You know, like where's the remorse coming from? Like, did you jump into something you probably shouldn't have had? Is my question.
Yeah. See, when I heard it, I thought maybe it was the difference between what real estate agent you were working with, right? Not working with somebody that was looking out for your best needs, but just wanted the sale.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so you didn't have a thorough, enjoyable experience, and thus you felt rushed into something. And then looking back, right?
It's called a discovery call, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you figure out like, okay, what's the motive? Why do you want to move? Well, I just don't want to rent. Okay, good. But what else? Like, you know, you start going down the line of asking just them questions. You know, what is the need to buy a house? What is the want?
Right.
And then it's flipping it over and figuring out with Devon, like financially, can you afford it? What is your goals? Right? I mean, depending on different programs, does it even make sense?
What do you feel comfortable
with
your monthly payment? I think I could see how someone could have buyer's remorse in terms of their payment. And I hear it quite often where, well, I didn't know my payment was going to go up. The taxes go up.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you don't have that conversation with someone, I told someone that the other day, I said, so this is your payment now, but in a year when your property gets reassessed, your taxes are going to go up to estimate it around this. So it's going to increase your payment a little bit. Are you okay with that? And he said, yes. So he knows that that's what's going to happen.
Right.
But you hear a lot of people say, well, I didn't know my taxes were going to shoot up like that. And
which just goes down to who you're working with.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's a conversation that should happen. I mean,
it should have been had.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that in totally agreeance with you. I think it just is. I think the only other side of the spectrum that someone could have any buyer's remorse right now is if like they are starting to think like, oh, my house, with everything we just talked about, are they already just thinking like, oh, here goes the market, the floor's going to drop, and I shouldn't have spent $440 on that house,
right?
But at the end of the day, I mean, I hate even going back. I hate even saying it because I hate it when people even bring it up. The whole recent real estate crash in 2008. To try to even do any kind of comparison. But a lot of that was because of mortgages being shorted, right? There was a lot of stuff that just was upside down, stuff that should have never, ever been written, period, which in result put a lot of people in bad spots, hence the crash.
Well, there were just so many houses, too.
And that,
the
too.
supply was huge.
Well, correct, because half the people was all foreclosures, short sales, all over the place. But that's not happening. I mean, you just heard Devon say that right now they're forecasting some will appreciate. Your value's still there.
Right.
Will hold or go down. And I think, honestly, my opinion of that is just what I just said.
Right.
If you're just letting your house go, it's going to freaking go below what it's worth because it ain't worth anything.
Right.
Take care of your house. We have many episodes on maintenance. Just do the dang freaking maintenance. And if you can't, then should you have even been a homeowner in the first place? Probably not.
Right.
Because it takes work.
It does take work.
I hate homeownership. No, I love it. But
we had to do a water softener this weekend. And we knew it. I mean, we knew it after we bought it. But it was like, you got to be ready for it. I mean,
hey, I'm not saying I'm like the best realtor out there because I'm just saying I'm not. I think I know I'm pretty dang good at it. But I think one thing that I do pride myself on is when I go show people houses, I'm very adamant, like just because it's just the way that I look at things. I'm always like, yep, furnace is pretty old. You're gonna want to budget for the next, I mean, if it's really, I'm like, but in the next year,
right?
If it gets through inspection, okay, hey, say this winter you're good, but maybe next winter you should budget for a new furnace, or like if they're all brand new, like, hey man, furnace is brand new, water heater's new, roof's new. All your mechanicals are new. Like, dude, you're solid.
Right.
You should be good for a couple of years. Still budget a little bit in case stuff, breaks down because it will happen.
Right.
But you're just pointing out to them, like, just because it's brand new don't mean you're going to have to do any repairs.
Right.
So understand that. But at the same time, if it's like, hey, great house, but your furnace, your water heater, your air conditioner, your roof, your appliances, they're old.
Right.
So that you got a budget. So, like, I'm trying to always remind them, like, okay,
this stuff is.
Don't be calling me 2-3 months down the road, like, dude, what house did we buy? The refrigerator broke. My AC went. I'm like, we knew that.
Right.
Yeah. We knew that.
We talked about this.
That stuff happens. It's called home ownership.
Yeah. That's like
leaky pipes.
We did a scope on our chimney. I mean, we really wanted a wood burning fireplace.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And when they said, this is not safe. You can't use it.
Got a lot of cracks down the flue and stuff?
There was a chimney fire.
Oh, was there?
And all the clay
gone.
Between the clay tiles is like gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah. And I mean, we'd probably be okay to still use it.
Yeah.
Realistically, I mean, if you got all the chimneys that are still being used today inspected, most of them would say that these aren't up to code and safe, but I mean, realistically, they are fine for the most part. But now we put candles in it for right now. Not everything you need to fix right away, but I mean,
unless you're sitting on just a pile of cash that you got to burn, you just budget. You create a plan and you figure out what's most important to you. I mean, we've been doing that for years since we bought our house in 2020. Everything needs to be done.
Right.
Our kitchen isn't done yet. It's still old. We took, the saying is, and we'll end on this, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. Well, you know what we did? Because we don't want to spend all the probably 25 freaking grand it's going to cost to do the dang kitchen or whatever.
Right.
I don't want to spend that money right now.
Yeah, right.
So what we did is we painted the cabinets. You paint the cabinets and you put new hardware on?
Yeah.
Dude, we're freaking happy. Like, I mean, it's kind of wearing off because all the kids have colored on it and
Right,
freaking got other stains on the crap, so it doesn't look as good when we first did it. But I mean, the first time we had it all painted and crap, people were like, "Holy crap! Did you put new cabinets in?" Like, no, we just painted them.
Yeah, looks good.
And put new hardware on.
Right.
I mean, freaking hardware is stupid expensive.
Oh yeah.
That's the most expensive thing out of the freaking kitchen. But it's just like, dude, like $5-6 a piece, and you're like, I gotta buy 20 of these and 15 of those. Like, what the heck?
What?
But no, like you do that. I mean, we've done a lot. Trust me, we've put a lot of money in the house. But the biggest things we haven't done the kitchen or the bathrooms yet because they still work,
Right.
And they're functional, and we don't care.
Right.
We're good where we're at. Our next project's the basement. We probably wish we would have started by now, but we're just, we're holding off because we want to be just smart about the money right now. And it's just, we'll wait till hopefully this spring. I did the garage. That was a fun experience. It's lovely. Anyways, good stuff I think is coming to end on a good note. Honestly, all of that means is give us a call.
Right.
We're here.
It's a non-forced
We love the chat. I think, we can talk a lot of what ifs too, but it doesn't hurt. If you're honestly thinking that this year, spring, this summer, this fall, it doesn't matter when. I encourage you, if you're thinking of doing the spring, you got to call now.
Yeah.
You got to put a plan in place now. Like it ain't, don't think you're going to go home shopping in spring and call Devon or me and March 31st and be like, hey, I want to get in a house by May. Like, you freaking idiot. Yeah. I do say that under my breath.
No,
because honestly, it takes 60 to 90 solid days to buy a house.
Yeah.
60 to 90 days. Can it happen sooner? Yes. Can it happen longer? Yes. Does it most of the time happen in that time frame? Yes.
Right.
I'm a yes man.
I like it. I like it.
But you got to plan, and I think this for most people hearing this is the biggest investment you're ever going to make in your life.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. It's a lot of money. It's very important. It's personal. It's your home. It's an image of you, and it's I get it. It's a lot of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Start talking.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with talking. It's not going to be like, oh shoot, but once I open my mouth, all you guys are going to do is just send me email. It's like, no, I don't. I know Devon doesn't.
No.
It's a conversation to just see why you have interest, what you're looking for, and what your options are. And then you take the freaking gas pedal or brake from there. We just inform you. If you want to hit the gas pedal full throttle, let's go. We'll do it. If you want to just tap it and figure out what's going on and say, hey, I'll wait till this is done, because you may be like, yeah, it's not the right time. I want to save more money. I want to put more down.
Right.
Okay, fine. Put a plan together too then.
Right.
I'll call you in 6 months. See how things go. It's that simple, guys. Yeah. What you don't know, you know.
I know where you're going with it. I know where you're going with it.
Who is that? Biggie?
I don't know. Didn't we talk about this last time?
Did we?
I think so.
You don't know till you know. Anyways, all right. Well, I'm Paul Seaman with eXp Realty.
I'm Devon Carr with Gold Star Mortgage.
It's a Carr and Seaman show. See ya.
The primary purpose of this podcast series is to inform, entertain, and educate. The information, opinions, and recommendations presented in this podcast series do not constitute legal or professional advice, opinions, or endorsements of any kind. Gold Star Mortgage Financial Group, NMLS 3446, Equal Housing Lender.